Hello everybody, welcome back to Deportivo La Coruna and today's match against Chelsea in the Europa League quarter-finals. Can you believe it? Even with the season that we're having, we made it to the quarter-finals of a European competition. Let's get straight into the match screen and see who's going to be available for us in this most important of games for the club. And fortunately for us, with Lirola in really bad form, Arbia is once again available for selection. So he goes straight into the starting lineup, along with Momo, who will be replacing Morales for this game. Although, Morales had a really good game last time out. I don't know. Momo's the better, more rounded player. Much better passing, stronger, gives more in defence as well, but he's not as quick as Morales and he can't carry the ball quite as well. Oof, it's a tough one for us, but I think we're probably going to go with Momo. Can always bring Morales on later if needs be. João Moutinho made such a good impression in yesterday's game that he retains his place despite the fact that Bonaventura is back and available for us. Bonaventura will make the bench, and I'm just thinking about who he's going to replace. I think Paleo Maria can make way for Bonaventura on this occasion. So I'm pretty happy with that bench. It's a good, strong starting 11 for us, considering the players we have available to us. Unfortunately for us, looking at the lineup for Chelsea, they are just absolutely rammed full of talent. It's going to be a difficult one for us. 4-3-3 plays a 4-3-3. It's a fairly even matchup. I'm just wondering whether the pace of Dries Mertens is something that we could potentially look to nip in the bud immediately by dropping the defensive line, as we did in the last game. Willian and Coutinho are tricky enough that even without pace, it's going to be a difficult day for us. I think we'll start as we are. Let's not be overly cautious, although I'll probably be regretting that decision later on. We'll be realistic and we'll have Chelsea in their home kit and us in our away. And that is everything that we need to do before kick-off. Let's get into it. Let's see what we can do today. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. It's an away game, which means away goals obviously are very important for us. I think if we can get a draw, I'll be happy. Whether that's a goalless draw or a scoring draw, I would be happy with a scoring draw for the obvious reason of the away goal scored. But I think a draw would be a fantastic result. If we can keep it close, then you can never tell what could happen in the second leg. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what happens as we play this game. Both teams on the pitch, and kick-off takes place. Bastia in the middle of the park moves it back through to Halsti. Back into Bastia. Those three players so far dominating possession for Chelsea. Jeremy Mathieu moves it out to the right-hand side. Here's Reece James. Very good player, but not good enough to get the beating of João Moutinho, who wins the ball and immediately sparks something of a counter-attack for the away team. Momo has the ball here. He's got options. Plays it into the centre. Here's Victor Malejo. Overlap. And it breaks down. Eventually, Shibazaki plays it against Fernandinho. And away Chelsea come. And will they look to hit us on the break, or are they going to have a slightly more considered passing approach? Here's James again. Javi Montero looking to win the ball, but can't quite take it off the toes of the youngster. I was hoping for a decent pass that could take some pressure off of us and possibly put some pressure on the opposition, and it didn't really work out that way, but a nice little bit of passing in defence has got us in a position to counter-attack here. It's moved out to Arbia on the right-hand side. Cuts it into Shibazaki. Dinked over the top. Momo running onto it. Defender deals with it well. João Moutinho out to Rene. Cross into the box. Near post header. Berg looking for the follow-up. Couldn't quite get to it. and it ends up going out of play for a throw-in to the away side. Strong start to the game for Deportivo, as João Moutinho looks to get the cross in. Here it comes, Berg heads it, and again the goalkeeper gets a hand to it and manages to stop any potential goal from happening. Rene looking to cross it into the box. Chelsea defend it well. It goes out for a corner. So here we go. Mats Hummels taking the corners. It's almost like we're back at the very beginning of this save. Hummels is a decent striker of a dead ball, although he probably shouldn't be taking corner kicks against teams that have the quality and the pace of Chelsea. So I'll look to change that next time that we have a corner, which is now actually. So let's go in and have a look at our options. Mats Hummels is not actually even the best corner taker. Let's go for João Moutinho, who is diminutive in size, and so probably won't hurt us so much if he doesn't get into the box. Cross comes in swinging. Victor Malejo underneath, gets his head to the ball. Comes out, Galoppo and Willian chasing it. And Javi Montero will deal with this one, then mop it up at the back and look to bring it forward again. And there's lots of space for him to run into here. Eventually Coutinho comes to him. Montero again. Shibazaki outside to Arbia, plays it back to Shibazaki, into Victor Malejo, who can't quite get to it in time, and the ball is quite well. I mean, that's a very defensive move there by Chelsea. And offside eventually given against Deport. Momo just straying into an offside position there. It's a shame. There was some nice tidy little passing in the build up to that there, but in the end the offside costing possession. And Chelsea restart with Ilian Meslier, who I'm familiar with, having oh hello, it's a good ball into Coutinho, a good save. Oh, that's a disappointing goal to concede. And it's Willian who bundles it in. Not entirely sure what happened here. Coutinho, I thought for a second, was going to take the shot. Willian takes the rebound, and then it comes off of the back of Galoppo, I think. Well, that's very disappointing. After the start that we had, it was a good initial save by Jimenez, but unfortunately the ball just fell to Willian, and really he only had to get it on target for it to go into the back of the net. And so Chelsea are 1-0 up after 26 minutes, but I'm not disheartened. I think we've played some decent football so far in this half, and we can consider ourselves unlucky to be behind here. Oh, it's a loose one to Moutinho. I think there's a foul off the ball, so it's going to be brought back here. Arbia just looking to play it centrally, and he's just collected slightly by Coutinho. Hummels will knock it into the box. Ah, it's way too short. Can't even beat the first man. It's Montero. To João Moutinho. Ah, no, he couldn't quite get the ball to Momo. Nice idea, just the execution wasn't quite there. And Rene and James come together. Referee played advantage, and it was a good advantage for Chelsea, who still have the ball here. And they're in behind the defence here. Coutinho, if he can find the cross, could be causing a little bit of danger for the away team. Not a bad idea. A little bit loose. It goes out from a Chelsea touch, so it's going to be a throw-in to Deportivo here. Again, the loose pass but Galoppo picks it up. Excellent defensive midfield work there from Galoppo. Vallejo outside to Arbia. Moutinho. Oh, it was always going to be optimistic to expect to trouble the goalkeeper from there, but he had to have a go. The best defending. Vallejo plays it into Berg. Here's Momo. Into Vallejo. Back to Momo. He's got a chance here. Oh, it's gone the wrong side of the post. I think some of the crowd might have thought that was gone in. Good attacking play from Deportivo, though. The only thing you would say is Berg was making himself available in the centre, and if Momo could have just got rid of his marker, there was the potential there to just squeeze the ball into the danger area in front of the goal, and XG would probably indicate that that was a much better scoring opportunity if they could have got it into that area, but never mind. Azpilicueta. Shibazaki trying to do his best to shield the right back in that situation. Moutinho trying to win the ball back unsuccessfully. And Jimenez ends up with the ball in his arms, rolls it out to Mats Hummels, who immediately will be looking to get it forward. But the half-time whistle goes. Well, Deportivo will have every right to feel slightly annoyed at the fact that they are 1-0 down at this halfway stage. Willian latching on to a loose ball, and thanks to a deflection, it ended up in the back of the net. You can see there Chelsea with only 2 shots, both of which came from that chance. And it was the deflection which actually ended up putting it in the back of the net. Deportivo have been the more dangerous of the sides looking at the shots and shots on target stat. But in truth, they've never really felt like scoring, at least not yet. So hopefully the second half will see an improvement in that stat, particular stat, as I trip over my tongue. Immediately the ball given away by Deportivo. They're looking to try and play a killer pass, and have actually left themselves open to the potential of a killer pass from the opposition instead. As Piliqueta, Hummels does a great job of winning the ball there, plays it down the line for Vallejo, and he's in bags of space here. And if he can find the right ball for Berg, there's a chance on here for Berg. And it's a great save by the goalkeeper, Meslier, who, as I was saying earlier, I'm very familiar with, having signed him for my Newcastle team in Football Manager. He's a decent backup keeper on that game. Of course, he's now at Leeds in real life. Hummels with the corner. Moutinho underneath, can't get his head onto the ball, and there's a fight for possession here. Arbia wins that fight. He gets around his man, but he's held off and can't make it to the ball as a result of being held back by the defender. And you could argue that there's a foul there, but the referee decides not, and the ball is played up the centre of the park for Javi Montero to have a go at winning. He wins the header, but not the ball. Ah, no, Shibazaki just overran it slightly there. Had too much pace coming into the control. Here's Mertens. Oof. It was a chance for him. And he's got the quality that from that kind of distance, he can hurt you. It's Danny Jimenez restarting. Going to knock the ball out wide to Arbia on the right-hand side, who picks the ball up and looks to bring it forward. João Moutinho out to René. Momo making the run down the left-hand side, and I didn't realise that he would get possession of the ball. I was holding down the X button to put pressure on the defender, and instead I've passed it with great venom straight into the advertising hoarding behind the goal. That's not the pass I was looking for, and it's played us into a little bit of trouble here. Arbia will collect the ball, pass it back to the goalkeeper. We can restart from there. Moutinho. Into Berg. Oh, no. Maybe Moutinho could have cut inside and taken the shot himself. Lovely control by Moutinho there to spring the counter-attack. But Berg really needed to do more with that. It's a shame. That's probably the best chance that we've had in this game. As the ball is hoofed forward and Montero gets his head on it, but once again can't get it to one of his teammates. Willian, James. James is a real attacking outlet on this right-hand side for Chelsea. Here's Rene. Momo making the run. Rene looks to play it through to him, and he gets it to him into the middle. And there's no one there, unfortunately, for Deportivo. And here's a ball over the top. Dries Mertens. I thought maybe he could have run onto that, and he didn't in the end. And just as well for Deportivo that he didn't. Here's Arbia. Into Shibazaki. Oof. Needed to be better. But it's nice to see him try it at least. Ball over the top. Arbia looks to get his head to it. Here's Galoppo now. Ball out to Victor Malejo. Back to Berg. That's the wrong ball from Berg. And he knows it. It's a shame because there was a real opportunity there to stretch the opposition defence and it wasn't taken. Momo. That's a Rene. Into the middle. That's too close to the goalkeeper. Got to do better than that. Real opportunity from out wide, and he couldn't make anything of it. It's really disappointing. Montero will beat his man to that. Gets it back to Jimenez. We can look to restart the attack. Oh dear, oh dear. Coutinho's got all of that. Very lucky. Here's Rene. Momo making the run inside. Here he is. Into the middle. Nobody there. Berg tries his best to win the ball, but he can't. And that's the final whistle of this first half. The Deportivo players collapse from the effort that they've put in today. They're extremely disappointed to have lost this game on the basis of the goal that they conceded. It really was a very fortunate goal for Chelsea to score, considering the fact that it was not going on target until it came off of the back of Galoppo. Depor will have seen enough today, though, to give them hope that in the return leg they can get something out of the match. Willian with the man of the match performance. I think he's a little bit fortunate, frankly, to be getting that. He didn't do anything other than hit the ball that eventually ended up in the back of the net, despite the fact that it wasn't actually on target when he hit the shot. But there we go. Let's have a look at the other results from the quarter-finals of the Europa League. And we can see that Munich and Milan drew 1-1 in Milan. Juventus have gone down to a 3-1 defeat to PSV, something of an upset there on the cards. And Atletico Madrid have beaten Everton 1-0 in Spain. So, very good chance of a Spanish representative in the semi-finals at the moment, with Atletico beating Everton 1-0. They'll have to hang on to that. Juventus, that's a real surprise. With the quality that they have in their team, you would expect them to win a game against PSV, especially a home leg, but there we go. So, that is it for today's episode. Join us tomorrow when we will tell you how we did against Valencia, and we will play the return leg of the quarter-final of the Europa League against Chelsea. Hopefully we can make a bit more of our chances in the second leg, and hopefully we can find our way through to the semi-finals. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.